Folks, this is ioEther and we're back with some more World Tanks. So as you can see, this is Ronnok in his Leopard 1 and cool paint job. This is of course Mountain Pass. It's the horrible side of Mountain Pass and it's obviously a tier 10 game. Now I say horrible side, I hate Mountain Pass from this side. You can't get across here, assuming they have any kind of fast tanks like say a Batchat or a scout tank like a T-71. They can get to here and then light your entire team, try and cross here, and then you get sniped, or you just can't cross. It's a horrible map. And wargaming, if you're going to do anything about it, please just put like 4 bushes right here, and suddenly the entire map would be balanced. But anyways, before we actually get into the game, though maybe not before we get into death, if you want to talk to me, Facebook, Twitter and Duckster links are all in the description below. Also, if you want to support the channel, the best way by far is just to hit the like button. And it's really, really easy. I know, right? But it tells me whether or not you enjoyed it and how many of you actually pay attention. It also, just makes me feel good. Anyways. But if you want to support the channel more directly than that, you want to support me personally, the best way to do that is through my Patreon account, also linked in the description below. And yeah, I think that's about it of the shameless self-promotion stuff. Into the actual game. Okay, Ronnok, let's go kill stuff. You're not moving. Ah! Well then. Hi! That poor Ramatal. So, for some reason that poor Ramatal decided he needed to be out in the open. There's a lot of cover on their side of the map, whereas we have none on our side. Apparently their team has decided not to use any of that cover, and we're just murdering them. So, that's all good, and that's a dead E4. If he'd come around that corner, I like to say this is the Rock, if he'd come around that corner at more of a kitty corner kind of angle, he could have bounced every shot those fired at him. But he poked himself at it far enough that his, what's it called? I want to say track wheel, it's not the right one. Front, whatever. The word has escaped me. Front drive road wheel thing? The thing that, it's on the front of... We're just going to forget I'm talking about that. Now I'm going to go on to something else. So, because of the fact that we can't get across that gap in the terrain, the enemy has pushed down past the choke point where we should be able to hold them, the natural choke point. And now they're spreading out, and it's going to get really hard to contain them. No way that shot hits a Batchat. Something bigger may have been able to hit, that shot may have been able to find purchase on, but on a Batchat just so low that he was not going to expose anything of himself racing across that gap. So unfortunately, now we have a serious problem. Now, the other serious problem we have is, of course, that because they get the high ground up here, they've pushed down to here with almost no threat. So now our entire team is bottlenecked around our cap. And thankfully, Lost from Target E100 with some help from the other TDs has taken out an enemy 268. And he's actually one of the better players on the enemy team. So that alone gives us a fair boost in possibility of winning this. On the other side of the table, we're losing teammates like you wouldn't believe. It's like somebody's put a sale sign on everything and all of them are disappearing because, either they're running to Steam to buy stuff or they've just decided, I want to get some damage in before the end of the game, and they're rushing to do that damage. Unfortunately, this pretty much guarantees we're going to lose unless Ronnok and some of the other players who haven't decided this is a loss yet really put in some work. So Ronnok's on the high ground, which is a really good place to be anytime you need to defend. This is one of the best high grounds in the entire game. The major problem with it is in order to use, by game I mean map, Anyways, but in order to use this high ground, you need to be defending your base against the enemy team, which means that your entire team pretty much needs to be dead before this spot becomes useful. So, unfortunately, that's kind of where we are. Now, the upside is that Ronnok has high enough alpha that he's be able to finish these guys off who are sitting in the open with relatively low health. Now, unfortunately, he got ammo racked right there, so he's gonna have to use his repair kit on it. If he's gonna survive this and kill everything, he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing, which is literally killing and finishing off each enemy that he possibly can. He is not taking risks to go after enemies who are more than a one-shot to him, and he's just finishing off enemy after enemy. Every shot is a kill right now, and that's the way it needs to be. If you don't take these guns out of the game, you will die. And that's just a simple truth, because it doesn't matter how much health the tank has. As long as it's still alive, it's just as deadly as if it's on full health. As long as it stays alive, it continues to be deadly. So our E75 is doing the best job he can to side scrape and stay alive in this game. And while he's doing that, Ronnok is putting in as much damage as he can, trying to finish these guys off and help our E75. Now, if they all rush together, they could probably take him out. But for some reason, they've halted their attack here, and they're going to peek and poke, which is the worst possible thing to do in their situation. So we're going to pause it right here. So originally there was 4 or 5 of them, right? There was actually more when they were over here. But anyway, so if they had come in, wiped out these defenders, and then instead of peeking and doing damage one at a time to the E75, if they had all just rushed over here, at least 1 or 2 of them would be behind the E75, putting free damage into the back of him. Yes, some of them would have died. Without a doubt, some of them would have died. However, some of them died as an anyway. And if they could eliminate this E75, then Ronnok wouldn't stand a chance at all. Because they're concentrating on the E75 and literally peeking and poking themselves to death, Ronnok is able to pop over this ridge, do damage, easy damage to the back end of these tanks, and support his E75. These two are a perfect team right now because the enemy team is letting them win. And it's a mistake I see over and over and over again in every game I play. Because the enemy team doesn't want to take damage, they are losing this game. And unfortunately, Ronnok, he took a shot there because he went just a tad bit too far over the cliff edge. But it let the E75 take a free shot into the back of the io7's turret. Ronnok finishes the io7 off, and now it is pretty much an even game. Now it's an even game. I don't know where that AT-15 was when he died. He sounded pretty close. Oh, he's right there. He got a lot closer without Ronnok seeing him than I thought he would. But it doesn't matter. The game's pretty much over at this point in time, unless the enemy can pull a really big, like, rabbit out of their hat kind of thing. Now, the other thing would have been if Ronnok had seriously damaged himself coming down that cliff, it could have flipped the game around. But not likely. Now, yes, the game is pretty much in the bag, but it's not actually in the bag. 2 reasons. First off, enemy Rheinmetall Borsig has never been seen. Now, the enemy is saying he's AFK. That doesn't mean he's AFK. That may just mean that he's never been seen because he's hiding somewhere. Somewhere like maybe up here. From up here he would have decent sight lines on a bunch of places, and maybe he was getting damage in from up there. We don't know. But Ronnok's not going to take the chance. He's got 6 minutes, so he's going to take the best way he can to get up there. Now, the reason he's not going this way is real easy to get shotgunned. Tanks can hide up here, or even back here, and shotgun you as you come around without any possibility of you returning fire. Ooh, there's the enemy T-92. Whiffed his shot. Okay, we're gonna stop this again. Okay, so enemy T-92 comes around the corner. If you're in that T-92, you take a shot from Leopard, and you know without a doubt it's going to take him at least 5 to 6 seconds to reload. Guaranteed. No matter what he's got on his tank, you have at least that long. Spend the time aiming. Seriously. The guy has 544 health. You can see that. A penetrating shot will do a stupid amount of damage from a T-92. A splash damage hit will probably kill the Leopard at this point in time. If the T-92 had taken 5 seconds to aim, Ronnok would be dead right now, and the T-92 could proceed on with winning this game. As artillery, many times I have let an enemy tank shoot me, knowing that my return shot could kill him as long as it landed, and there's no point in firing a snapshot only to miss when you had at least 5 or 6 seconds to aim and quite possibly win the game, one shot at a time. Now, it would mean, of course, that the next shot would have to be fired before the enemy kills him. But at very least, it would be taking out the most deadly enemy target, and it would save the T-92's life. T-92's life. Now, Ronnok has all the time in the world to reload, and there we go. Now, if the T-92 had taken at Ronnok, it probably would still be a loss, but maybe not. Okay, so Ronnok is waiting until he gets unlit. He is waiting in case the two were traveling together, and if the two were traveling together, then Ronnok doesn't want to just like face check into the guy, because that would be painful and be detrimental to his health. It would kill him. Yeah, 3 ways to say exactly the same thing. Third being the simplest. Oh, look at that. So the enemy team is probably right. This guy is probably a bot, or he went AFK for some reason. And he's dead. Wow. So that was a really awesome game from Ronnok. But more to the point, this was the enemy's game to lose, and they did. Because of the fact that they pushed up to here and to here before Ronnok's team could do anything, and Ronnok's team was half dead by the time that happened. Ronnok rebased to up here and set up for the most aggressive defense he possibly could. But the only reason that he won this game is, well, okay, there's 2 reasons. One is he made every right decision along the way. I didn't see one decision that was bad this entire game. And the second thing that caused him to win is the enemy team refused to rush that E75. If they had all rushed him at the same time, they would have killed him, and the game would have been theirs. Unfortunately, they decided not to. They decided instead they wanted to play it safe. By playing it safe, they all died, and they lost the game. Almost 2,000 experience with premium without a daily double. That's pretty awesome. Ace Tanker, obviously. Fire for effect, duh. Duelist, yeah. Bruiser, yeah, of course. And almost, that's over 100k in winnings. Now, it's not profits, but considering how much ammo he had left at the end, betting he made quite a bit of cash for this one. Radley Walters, high caliber, The Top Gun's just superfluous at this point in time. And Tank Sniper. And this is pretty awesome because it means that he did most of his damage at over 300 meters. Which is what you need to do in order to get the Tank Sniper award. So that's pretty awesome. I don't even remember who he shot from that far away. Oh, I guess the T-69. Yeah, okay. Right. So, WW? I'm gonna guess that's an emoticon of some kind, but I'm gonna call him WW. Deserves a bunch of props here too. He did exactly the right thing in trying to side scrape and stalling the enemy team so Ronnok could do the damage. These two worked together as a perfect team, having never met each other before. That's pretty awesome to watch. T92 got a couple lucky shots off to aid in the defense, and he played it well as well. 6,400 damage. That's insane and very awesome. Yeah, so he earned 55,000 credits because he didn't fire much gold this game. Didn't keep track of if he fired any, but he didn't fire as much as you might expect for having to carry as hard as he did. 24 shots fired, 24 penetrations means that he was almost 100% incredibly accurate. I can talk today. He was bang on with as many shots as he needed to be, and a little bit of assistance damage. I'm gonna guess that's actually spotting damage, though it may have been tracking damage. I wasn't paying that close of attention, and he bounced the shot. That would be a shot from the T-71 that somehow bounced off the side of his turret. I don't understand how, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, for a 10-minute game, that was pretty awesome. Thank you so much, Ronnok, for sending it in. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really does help me out. I will see you all next time, Ethernauts. Have a great night. This is ioEther out. Hey folks, this is ioEther, and we're back with some more World Tanks. Side scraping. How to counter a player who's side scraping. So the E100 is trying to side scrape. And you can see, let's see where. Ronnok is actually firing at the engine deck of the enemy tank. And, well, that makes sense, because Ronnok's gun is actually higher up than the enemy tank's engine deck, so he can aim down. And if he concentrates right, and if he... T-57. Really? How did you miss that shot on the T-57? Really? That was like a free shot. So the enemy E100 is getting really pissed that Ronnok can somehow penetrate him without being, without exposing enough of his tank so that so this guy can kill Ronnok. So Ronnok's, again, gonna shoot for the engine deck,